So it is day 7 of the fast. And this was definitely profound. In hindsight, I wish I would have done this a long time ago, but you do things when you're ready. Things come when you're ready. And so I do not regret this. This would definitely be applied to my life. And so we're at day 7, and I've been resting today, but still writing, just still being me, and just been having such profound revelations. I feel like prior to this experience 2 to 3 years ago, prior to losing Dante, I definitely attribute that to being a catalyst to this experience and this new journey in my life of not being codependent, um, not looking outward for someone to save me, and just realizing that power, rediscovering that power. I feel like as a little kid, I knew. Um, it's weird because I really ain't even had no choice but to know. Just the way I was brought up, like had to have an internal faith. But I had to rediscover that and reconnect and so many ways that I didn't even realize I needed to reconnect or that I was even disconnected. Um, Awareness is powerful. Go use the bathroom, Sassy. Sassy just chilling. But yeah, just in ways that I didn't even know I was disconnected. And awareness is powerful. Awareness, consciousness, it's all powerful. Then you get to a point where not only are you conscious, you begin to apply what is actually best for your design. And we are unique individuals, and everybody, got to do what's best for them. And sometimes we get so conditioned by society to be a certain way, act a certain way, think a certain way, speak a certain way, and we're not being ourselves. I kind of touched bases on this yesterday in one of my videos that I posted to YouTube, and it's just like we're all designed and sent here to do something, to serve some type of purpose. And even if what you have been designed to do literally is something someone else has already done, and even perfected in their own way, literally nobody still has done that thing the way you have. And to break that down even more, is if so, say for instance, like painting already exists. It already exists. It has existed since the end of times. But let's just say that you could have even been born with a natural gift to paint, to draw, whatever, and literally you want to, learn how to do it in the way society has conditioned us, right? And so you literally take classes and you have a teacher and someone who's going to tell you how to do it traditionally. Well, a lot of us are being called to do those things non-traditionally. Yes, tradition literally serves us a great purpose as a foundation. However, it is not the all to be all, because life should always be ever evolving. Don't go out this yard. So life should be ever evolving. And so what you bring to the table, painting already exists, but you might bring a new way of doing things. You might go outside that box that we have been conditioned to be in. That box shouldn't have to exist. That box should not have to exist unless you are causing you or someone else harm. And then that's when you might want to reconsider. But I just feel like conditioning came up so much, like being told that, you gotta eat in order to be okay. Like, I literally spent this whole week doing the same exact things that I normally would do. And in some instances, because I had even more energy, I got more done. And so it's literally like you can be conditioned to say, like, you can't do these things. And people do have to take their health issues and current health state into consideration when doing this or doing any said thing, because we're all genetically unique, and what works for one person don't work for another person. So a 7-day fast might not be right for you, but it was right for me. Actually, next year I want to try to do more than 7 days and of just water, and being strict with it just being water. So, because I'm just going to be transparent, I did have some bone broth. That wasn't even like, that was supposed to be a backup plan, but the only time I drank bone broth was when Charlotte fixed herself some, and she couldn't drink any more of it. And so I would just drink whatever she had left just so I wouldn't waste it. And however, next year I would like to do it without. I did have some Gatorade on days that I had did the heavy walking. I would take some Gatorade because I was sweating out a lot of things. So just try and make sure that I did not dehydrate myself. But next year I really do want to just kind of try just water and see how that goes. So that'll just be a new goal. Shoot for water and maybe extend it to from 7 days to maybe 10 days or 14 days or 20 days, but I would try to start in increments. So maybe like instead of 7 days, I'll do 10 and just see how that goes. Since yesterday, I have lost, how much weight? I have lost 12 pounds in total. So since yesterday, I've lost 12 pounds. I have not checked my weight today. I probably will check it later on. And I have not checked my inches in a few days. So, but conditioning. This is a conditioning. Well, I would say this is an unconditioning. I am unconditioning myself from a lot, and I have been this whole process, just unconditioning myself. Some people refer to it as decolonizing, reprogramming, all that stuff. So I've been doing that all this time. And it's beautiful to see it in this perspective. So. A lot of the times in the past, the way I handled situations, I don't regret it. I don't regret fucking nothing. Even if I showed up inappropriate, I am, how would I put this? I am literally sorry, and I apologize for people who I've hurt in the past from my actions, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly. I apologize, literally. So, and I'm going to say that looking into the camera. I apologize to anybody I've hurt, whether it was knowingly or unknowingly. And I really, truly do mean this to people who were not trying to cause me harm maliciously. The harm may have came in of you triggering me, or I deemed you as a threat. You felt like a threat, but you might not have been a true threat. You could have actually been sent to help me or give me love, and you may have gotten you got caught up in the crossfires of me literally battling myself and battling the things that I had kept deep down inside for all those years. Even towards the people who literally had maliciously done me wrong, the way I handled things gave you way too much of my power, way too much of my time, and way too much of my energy. And like moving forward, God knows I've been praying hard like that I move a different way. Like I said, I still don't regret any fucking thing because literally I was fighting for my life. And but I do hope that far as forgiveness, that anybody I've hurt, they find forgiveness within for themselves. And literally I'm daily, finding forgiveness for myself. So literally those who have hurt me, I've had to, forgive that shit. That doesn't mean that, like we gonna be ha ha ha. When I see you, I'm speaking with you. Like, no, like in the black community, I don't fuck with you, but it's not with malice. It's like, I don't fuck with you, but it's not with malice. Like, I just trust God's justice, and I trust these universal laws over white man's laws. I trust it wholeheartedly. So like, literally, we all gonna get what was coming to us, and that's myself included. Nobody is above the law. That's how you keep order going. That's how you keep things fair and just. A lot of these concepts have been twisted and perverted, and they've been to our detriment, and they have been conditioning us. And so conditioning came up with unconditional love. I've been playing with unconditional love as a concept in my head for a little bit now, and I've gotten to this point of realizing that, like, unconditional love does not excuse abuse. It actually literally holds abuse accountable. And unconditional love would push you and force you to literally work on the things that is causing you to be a harm to yourself or someone else. So unconditional love is not an excuse for why we do the things we do. Unconditional love is actually a beautiful, powerful force that would allow us to see ourselves as being out of sorts with ourselves. So literally, unconditional love and just is absolute love. It is to be absolute yourself. It is to be absolute. Um, it is without conditions. It's without agreeing to these societal norms that goes against who you are inherently, who you are without all the influences. Like, it is literally, that's unconditional love. It is literally being yourself. It is being back in connection with your core self. And I call that God. I call that source. I call it nature. I call it all kinds of things, but it's all one thing. Even when you look at it in parts, you are God to me when I come across you. Whether you show up fucked up or not, like whether I show up fucked up or not, like either you are assessing me or where I'm at, you a test, you are something, you are a part to a whole, and literally I just see God as all. And when I think of it like that, I think of it better. Like, if you knew that you were in contact with God, how would you carry yourself? How would you carry yourself when things was to happen? So, how would you treat God if God showed up flawed? How would you treat God if God showed up flawed? How would you treat yourself if, something came to take you out? How would you treat yourself? Like, how would love show up for you if something was to threaten your existence? So and then there's when you become like, you have to protect the God in you. And so I don't know, it might get confusing to some people, but I've been pondering with these things since childhood, and I thank God that I've been brought back to myself. I was always a thinker. I just remember like getting up in a tree and just thinking and escaping the world as it was conditioned to be, getting away from the environment of my neighborhood just by being in a tree, just by laying in a field of grass, and just practicing escapism in that way, not realizing that's what, I was doing. But I still get to have that gift, but I get to use it for my betterment and not my detriment. I don't gotta run away anymore because I run myself now. And I'm solid in myself enough to know that, like, whatever is to come, I can face it. So I'm here now in this state. I've been in so many different states of mind and existence, and I'm just here in love and peace for real. Like, I was so angry, and like I said, I'm not excusing it, but it is what it is. I was so angry, and I really, in my heart, feel like I ought to have been. A lot of us ought to have been operating out of anger. But once you get to a point where you realize operating out of anger all the time is soul draining. It is a negative emotion sent to literally protect you. But if you're constantly operating out of that energy, it can drain you. But when you have balance with that energy, it becomes your superpower. So it's just been a process of working through all the parts that make me me, shedding the parts that was not, so that unconditioning, literally shedding the conditions that were not mine but were given to me upon carnating to this place. And this place is a beautiful fucking place. It is so fucking beautiful, and if you respect it and love it and nurture it and take care of it, literally is a a phenomenal work of art, how everything can work together if if you know we get it together. And it's just about respecting nature and the different environments that you're in, because each environment is different, and each environment or life form calls for something different. And so once you learn that about yourself, you can see it easily in nature. You are nature. Nature is you. And when you get so far removed from God and nature and yourself, like, you literally become evil, you become parasitic, you become draining. And I have been a lot of the things I've been calling out this whole time. Like, I've been in those shoes. And I think some people felt like when I was calling it out, because I was angry and I was passionate about it, that like I was condemning just dumb. And it's like, nah, this is a call to action to get your shit together, because like that time is up. Being in that type of existence literally is a life signing up for a life of misery, no matter why we understand it. Like, you can understand it all day long, but you still gonna be in a state of misery, operating out of those ideologies and those concepts that they have perverted, twisted, and forced on us. And so when I say they, I say these is it doesn't matter the color, the race, none of that shit. Is anything or anybody that is so far removed from itself and its core purpose that literally it is willing to destroy itself by destroying others. You destroy others, and it is in a space of greed and oppression. You internally are destroying yourself, and you are oppressing yourself. So literally, evil always destroys itself within, because it's going to remove itself so far from source it will no longer be able to live on its own. And that's where you get stuff like viruses and all that shit. Like, it needs a host, and parasites, they need a host to live. And so if you don't host them, you're going to be okay. And those who choose to host them, they got to deal with those consequences. So literally, can't be, to this point where we holier than thou. Like, that shit is counterproductive. So like, literally everybody got their own process and their own way of getting to this point. But like, baby, I'm in love. Like, fuck all that hate. I denounce that shit. Like, hate ain't shit but internalized. It's like inverted. It's not internalized, but it is to internalize. But it's inverted love. It is literally, in order to hate somebody, you have to fucking care. I don't care what nobody says. Like, in order to hate somebody, you have to fucking care. And either you're gonna want to heal and grow, and get through what caused you to hate in the first place. And it's literally the hate that you are harboring and holding on to is literally hate that they had and they was trying to get you to bear it. And so send that shit back. Like, say, I don't want that. I don't want that for myself. Like, if they can't figure out how to get through that shit themselves, like, they gotta hold their own hate. Like, I'm not holding your hate. I'm gonna release that, and I'm gonna operate out of a energy of fucking pure love, absolute love for myself. To be an unconditional love is to literally love myself enough to say that I'm not tolerating anything that requires me to neglect or harm myself or accept harm from others. So, like, that's unconditional love to me. Unconditional love is not loving somebody no matter what they do to you. And when I say that, I still operate out of frequency of love. Like, I'm not going to keep on holding on to hate just because you can't get right. How I fix that is, you don't have access to me no more. Unconditional love don't mean you get to have access to me. I had to learn this with my mother, and that's what triggered a lot of the learning and unlearning of unconditional love. Like, I love my mama to this day, even after every fucking thing that I've exposed and showed and told. God seen it all. Literally, my shit, her shit. God seen everything. So, like, literally, even after all that, I love my mother. My mother sacrificed her life to bring me into this world. And there were some things she did great, and there was some things that she did good, and there was a lot of things that she did wrong, and have not been able to take accountability for. And I had to learn that I can no longer hold what she can't take accountability for. I can no longer cover for her. I can no longer uphold or protect evil. And it doesn't matter who the fuck it show up in. If it shows up in me, I can't uphold that. I gotta go ahead and holler at God, because it's like, I'm showing up wrong, God. Can you help me? Can you help me fix this? Give me the power and the strength to fix this through you. So, like, literally through myself. So if I can't uphold it and protect it and guard it in me, I can't excuse it in me. I damn sure can't do it for nobody else. So I was taught unconditional love is to, deny that that someone is toxic towards you, that someone is abusive. And I'm sorry if my lips dry, because I might be a little dehydrated. I've been trying to get a lot of water pumped in me, but sometimes I fall short. But I'm getting there. I haven't had any pains or anything like that. Just maybe some discomfort when I lay down at night. But other than that, not so bad. But yeah, I can't. Damn mosquito got me. Hope you know that blood ain't for the average. But anywho, literally, I was taught that unconditional love meant that people can do things to you no matter what. And I was taught this through my family, like my mother. My mother probably was a lot of my conditioning because she was my mother. But then I also got more conditioned when you get out into the open world. So, but you trust your mother typically more than you trust anybody. You love your mother more than you love anybody. And I had a relationship with my mother where I loved her more than I loved myself. And I just had this relationship with people, period. Just loving them more than I love myself, valuing them more than I value myself, seeing in them what I refused to see in myself, whether it was good or bad. And I would say that I would typically be aware of the bad, but I would neglect how great I was too. And so I was taught that unconditional love meant that anybody could do, not anybody. So for my mom, it was family. So your family is your family regardless. And I learned that that's not true. Surely you can't change the facts that you were born to this family. That's a fact. You can't change that. Even though sometimes I don't really even like calling her my mom no more. I don't like calling my dad. I'll call him my bio dad. I'll call her my bio mom, like, cause y'all are my earth parents. Y'all are this life parents. But um, the fact of the matter is that I was born into that bloodline, and I can't change that. However, I don't have to accept neglect, abuse, abandonment, um, and say, hey, look, I know you've done all these things to me, but I'm still going to show up for you. No, I don't have to do that anymore. And I know that that's a shackle that needed to break, and it took a long time to break it. But what I can honor is that them niggas gave me life. They gave me an opportunity to come through them. Their genetics and but also they're not the all to be all to my creation. Like, God created me. I came from the ultimate source just like they did. So like literally they just had a job to do, and they failed me in so many ways. However, I will say my mother did give me some good things. Even though my father, not too much, he don't really got a lot of credit I can give. Literally genetics wise, I acquired some good genetics from both sides of the coin. So just like we inherit generational curses, I also get to inherit generational wealth, genetically speaking, in this physical realm. And baby, I'm rich in spirit, so so I don't even care. Like, it don't matter where I'm at. We wealthy regardless. And I just been feeling, it's not even a feeling. I am solidified that I am in love. And all my life I wanted to be in love. But I wanted to be in love with, I wanted to have a loving family, and I wanted to be in love and with a person, a romantic partner, my forever partner. And I wanted to be in love with being, a parent, and be in love with just being in love and peace in this world. And I was looking for it externally. And surely, as physical beings, we do need it externally. But if you ain't got it within you first, if it hasn't been solidified within you first, it's going to be a process of trial and error to get to that point. And those who you do have relationships with, y'all are going to have to do that processing together. So like literally, I'm happy that this whole process has gotten me to this point where I'm solidified in love. I'm with God. I'm in love with myself, in which I view God as all things. And so if I'm being taught to love God externally, why can't I love God internally? And that's a lot of the problems I have with a lot of religion. That is warped in Western ideology. We always have to find God within communion, and we have to find God. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist there. We got to find God in a book. We got to find God in a church or a building, amongst each other. And surely, yes, you can harness the power of God more in communion. But if you can't harness the ultimate source within yourself by yourself, I really do think that you're going to be a detriment to yourself and someone else. And it's not even think, I've experienced it for myself. So like, this is all my perspective. This is all perspective from my life. Everybody got their own perspective and their own processing and their own paths. And we are supposed to commune and come together just for that reason, because we can put it all together and we can harness that. But at least find it for you wholly first. Like, we say these words and we don't even realize what they're meaning. Holy. HOLY. They just dropped the W. Or we just added a W to another version of the word whole. To be holy is to be whole. It's that simple. And it is not about being better than the next person. It is about being your whole self, your best self, your greatest self. And this society is just warped into comparison. Like, you're not holy, I'm holy. You don't know God, I know God. And it's like we're all supposed to be knowing God how we know God. You're all supposed to see God how you see God. And it's supposed to be on a level that you understand it. So if you're not understanding someone's level or perspective or viewpoint, because it's all the same thing, of God, literally, like, that just mean that's not how you was meant to see it, view it, or feel it. It's levels to this shit, and like everybody gotta be confident and competent in their level. And literally, I was playing on levels that was miserable for me because I wasn't being challenged. I felt like it was bullshit. And then I was playing it so small because that's what I used to like think I had to do to survive, that when it was time to be myself and be grand and be big, like, I was scared to do that. I didn't know how to do that. I knew it would come with pain. I knew it would come with um being a version of myself that I didn't know how to be. And so literally I thank God that I had some force behind that. But I also wanted it. I finally did want it right then and there when it was time. I wanted it all along, but my environment and my circumstances didn't always like fit for it. So I don't know, I just thank God that I can be my whole self, and whatever that looks like, and wherever I need work at, we work it out together. I'm thankful to God that I am in love, no matter the environment. I do know that there are some cases where because I've been through so much extreme trauma, things come up, but I've made peace with it's okay that those things come up. They don't get to torment me anymore because I trust that God is working it out for me. And I look at shit differently now. It's like I don't see it the same. Do I still get angry? Yes, I do. I still get angry. I still get irritable. Like, literally, those are signs and signals that something is off. And you have to sit with it and address it. It's not that you are not supposed to feel these emotions at all. It is that you are not supposed to you're not supposed to ignore them, number one. You're not supposed to ignore them, because when you ignore them, that literally is going to cause distortion, and it's going to cause you to be off balance and off whack because you're not paying attention. Pay attention to your own feelings. So you're not paying attention to yourself. And you can't overly logic your way through life, and you can't take out feelings completely either. It's also a detriment that if you sit in your feelings like too much, to the point that you fail to act. You literally have to learn and find your balance. It's a detriment to think that you can't survive without someone else. Literally, so that's looking outside of yourself for solutions and problems. Yes, surely God will send different people, different things to be tools and aid for you on your journey. But to think that you will not survive or live without your internal connection and life force energy within yourself is a detriment to you, because you would literally become so dependent on others to make you happy, and you'll never be happy because literally nobody can make you happy but you. And if you don't know what makes you happy, then you have to go on a journey to figure that out. That's just that simple. It doesn't seem simple while you're in it, but that's how it works. But I don't know. I think I'm like just going all over the place, but today is day 7, and I am in full solidified unconditional love with myself, with God, with all. So I thank you, God, for bringing me thus far on this journey. And I'm here. I am here. And not only am I here, I am literally, and you notice this is not even about my words speaking this, even though that matters. But energetically, God already knows more than any other soul that literally I'm ready for what's to come, and I'm ready to run my own show. I'm ready to lead in love and peace. Leading in love and peace has gotten a bad rep of being a weakness, and it's not. Love is the most powerful source, and love will always show up. Might not always show up how you want it to, but it'll show up how you need it to. It'll show up for your best benefit. You just might not be understanding it. So, like, literally, love is all, and all is love. And literally, if you are harmed and you feel like leading with love is being a punk or letting shit slide, just know that you got to use your discernment, and that literally love is very protective. Love ain't letting that shit slide. Love is lining that shit up. And so, like, literally just trust the process. Trust the process. All that you have been enduring is not in vain. Keep going, keep growing, keep glowing, keep building, keep rebuilding. It's not even just about these things. Keep rebuilding the systems from within, so that they can materialize outward. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. So, like, literally, each moment, us as individuals put in effort to heal ourselves, to rebuild ourselves. It allows us to be able to be a tool to heal things outwardly and to rebuild things outwardly, and so that we can create the world we want to see. So, God got us. I speak protection over all of those who are doing what they are supposed to make a difference in this world. I speak send love to you, because love is an unlimited source. So it takes nothing to give love, at all. It takes nothing to give love. And if you feel like you fighting to give out love, um, peace and kindness, you gotta sit with yourself. You gotta sit with yourself, and you gotta sit with those wounds. And you can actually give it to God too. You can trust that. You need to give it to God. Um, if they're still hurting you, harming you, tormenting you, like, call on God. Like, it works. And even if you don't believe in the word God, for me, been transparently clear. I don't care what you call it. We're all praying to the same source. Whether some are praying to it in a fractal piece. And that's what you see with evil. Evil literally will use the name God, and that's why a lot of people have trauma with it, because they will use that same name, but their intention, they're not praying to an ultimate source. They're praying to something else, and they're feeding something that will never be satisfied. And so if you're in a situation where you're not satisfied, it's because you're disconnected from yourself. That's it. That's all. And that's what evil is. It is far removed from itself and God. So if you feel unsatisfied, I don't give a fuck if you just lost your big toe. You don't know what's in the refrigerator to eat. You don't even have a refrigerator. Like, if you done lost everything that is a material need or want, and you still got breath in your body, like, go within. Whether you call it God or whatever, call it yourself, you call it the universe, nature, whatever. Go within and tap into that source of belief, and knowing that everything gonna be okay. Even when everything ain't okay, tap into that source and cry out, cry out to it. Let it know that, like, literally, I need help. Whether you believe in your ancestors, because I believe in it all. My ancestors have helped me in so many ways, living and dead. So, and I ain't gonna even say living and dead. I'm gonna say living and passed over, or transition and traveling. My ancestors constantly help me. So, but that, I feel like that's just a part to a whole. It's not the whole piece. So I like to commune and communicate with the whole ultimate source. And then I also do have spirits that I am of closer relation to, that I like to communicate with. outside of the ultimate source. So like literally, and that's what we're doing when we have families and lineages. It's everything that we have materially already exists internally. We forget that internally this is a body. We forget that externally this is a body. It's a living fucking thing. You are a living thing. You're just a consciousness of that said you're the higher consciousness of that said living thing, and then you your own self need to rely on a consciousness that is literally higher than your limitation in this vessel. So literally, like, you're the captain of the ship, but the captain of the ship needs help sometime, right? So you got to call on, your highest power self. Sometimes I look at this shit like I'm a vessel and a consciousness in this vessel, and the further removed from myself, I can't hear myself who is playing me in this vessel somewhere else. And it's like sometimes I see it as a video game, like I am somewhere playing me, and the further removed I am from myself, I can't hear myself, see myself, or know what to do. And so that means that I have to stop wherever I'm at in life and reset. And that's why a lot of times some of us wake up fucking dizzy and confused. We wake up feeling like we're on a new timeline. We wake up feeling like, what the fuck is this? Like, I do remember this person. I do remember that person. But who the fuck is you? And it's like, because you have waken up into a new level of consciousness. And I look at it like the person who is not even a person, the source, the life force energy that is playing you here, um is resetting you for a purpose to come back into yourself and be able to hear and to be able to guide you to your best and greatest version of yourself yet. And it's ever evolving. So even once you get through this pathway in life, there'll be another one. We don't realize that, like, having a child is literally open up a new pathway for you. Accepting a new job is open up a new pathway for you. Um, Changing your lifestyle, changing your way of life, eating different foods, and is opening a new pathway for you. Doing something detrimental to you is opening another pathway for you. It's just going the other way. It's removing you further from where you um, are in better hands, I would say. So is removing you from your best. I look at God as the best, the ultimate, the greatest. Like, it is what is going to be um, the best for your well-being. So I don't look at God just as sky daddy, daddy. Like, God is feminine, masculine. God is trans. God is all the things that you have seen in creation. To say that one thing isn't is literally to take away the omnipotence from God. Like, you can't say God is all, but then say, oh, well, evil's not God. And like, God created evil. It's just evil has lost itself. That's it. That's all. Like, it is like so far removed from God that, like, literally when it does no longer have a part or connection with God, it literally begins to destroy itself. It begins to self-destruct. And that's why a lot of this shit, like, we don't have to worry about what you is seeing going on. They would destroy themselves. Just allow them to do so. There will be casualties. This is war. There will be casualties, but they harness our energy and our us when we lose focus on what we're supposed to be doing, because we're too involved and invested in what they are actually doing, when they're gonna do what they're gonna do anyway. um and yes, we can physically stop them if we come together, but that unity has yet to physically manifest in the ways that we want it to. So that's why you have to be able to discern that, like, maybe your wants ain't always what's best. You gotta trust the process, and you gotta trust God, how God is handling it, because God is handling it for our best benefits in ways that we can't always see or understand in these vessels. So just remember, like, you're in these vessels, and you can't operate all the time out of the I would say the frequencies that you would if you were pure source. So That's it. That's all. That's all I look at. Like, source is like, and we're inherently pieces of God. And when it's all said and done, we return to source completely. Some of us return to source while we're still in these vessels. That's why you be seeing a lot of people have these moments, and you think they're crazy, and they ain't crazy. They having an experience with source. So, literally, that's it. That's all. um, I'm just grateful and thankful. I'm grateful and thankful that I get to eat tomorrow, and I ask that God, literally take this reset for me and give me the power and the strength to make better eating habits. Cause I actually feel better losing the things that's been coming out, and so literally, and that's spiritually, physically, mind, body, soul, consciously. So I ask that God literally take this reset and this time to literally reset my life for real. And it is already is. It already is. It is already so. And cause I feel it. I feel it. I see it. I hear it. All shit is aligned. All of it is aligned. I'm just waiting for a lot of things to materialize. But I thank God for these last 2 to 3 years. I've been learning patience and trust and faith, because it's all the same shit, and love. Like, just trusting the process that all things will work out in the end, no matter how horrific your experience is. Even with those who signed up for an experience that was even more horrifying, and they have to travel and transition next, like, you will be taken care of. They will be okay. Um, this is an existence that should not be this way, even though I can't say that because it is, but like, it could be better. And we came here to make sure that it is better, and everybody plays a part in that. And those who played their part and stayed connected to God, even while being tormented, you literally will be provided for and taken care of. So trust the process. And that's too for the families who have lost people in these wars that are physical, as far as Palestine, Congo, Sudan, America, because people don't even see that, like, black people and indigenous people literally, I think black people are indigenous across this world, period, point blank, and that everything derived from that. But as far as like mankind, but literally, we're not considered in war, but black African American people have been. And I'm going to say black African indigenous people. And then you got indigenous people who do not want to claim that because they have lost their way. So I do feel like we have come to a point where, like, we have to realize that we have been going through war here. What happened to our ancestors and what continue to happen, like the crack epidemic, that was war. The heroin epidemic, that was war. Shit, you just had COVID, and that happened to everybody, and people don't even want to realize that was a biological, I would say, like, that was, what do you call that? I guess that would be biological warfare, trying to change people's DNA and genetic makeup with shots and stuff. Yeah, so literally, we've been at war on this turf in so many aspects. So many have been basically victims to this, and we have not gotten physical 3D compensation. No matter how hard we've been fighting, no matter how hard we have been withstanding and surviving, we have not gotten 3D. I feel like fortune for the things that we have had to endure with these beings. And I just want us to know that, like, literally all things is working out. So I'm going to end there. Just focus on yourself first. Whatever you got extra, you can pour that outward. But, like, focus on you and your purpose first. And then you can give things outwardly.